Hey, honey.
Hi, sweetie.
Hey, Axel.
Hey, buddy.
Is he taking a bath?
Yeah, pretty much. Has to look good for the camera, right?
Yeah. Axel, you look great, babe. You look great, babe. Yeah, you do. Oh, I love
Ham.
that.
He's such a ham.
So cute. I love that blue ice. So pretty.
Yeah, yeah, crazy, right?
I get
We start
mesmerized watching
with
that.
learning about it.
Sky
Um,
ice. Yeah, fascinating.
yeah,
100
supposedly,
over like 100% oxygen.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
What does
yeah.
that mean?
Don't know. I guess we'll find out soon.
I can only imagine it would be super healing.
Yeah,
You were saying that. You were saying it's super healing, right?
yeah.
Wow.
Gotta wonder. There's a peace treaty that the entire world signed, who could never agree on anything. Why there is this massive peace treaty in the Antarctic, and why there you can't visit there either.
Hmm.
What is going on?
Something that has to do with survival? I'm going to
Maybe.
imagine that would be the only thing that they
Yep.
would agree on.
Yep.
Fascinating. I just think there's so many exciting things coming.
Yeah.
Um, they talk about all this new technology, which I'm super excited about. But I really believe we are the technology. Like, I think there's so much that we don't know about the human body, how we actually function. Things like sky ice, how we function in connection to the earth.
Because
It's going to be amazing.
it's all about energy,
Yeah,
natural energy, and just
totally.
harvest it, I guess, and direct it
Yeah,
to
connect it.
self healing.
I mean, one thing I think we're learning about over the past 3 years is linking your feet to the earth, like literal bare feet. I had learned recently that we absorb pure love through our first two toes on our
Okay.
feet, which I was like, that's cool. And I'm sure that's only one way in which we absorb because it goes all the way up the left side of the body and connects to the heart.
Mhm.
Everything is connected too. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's just going to be really cool to learn things that are outside of the indoctrination that we've been in for so long that tells us this is the anatomy and this is how it works and that's it. And then you die. It's
On that,
so wrong. Like all of it is wrong. It's like so backwards. It's like that's
yeah.
just not the way the human being was designed. And you kind of know that. You feel that resonates.
While I'm so excited about what's coming in the near future, very near future, it does make me sad for everyone that we've known and everyone in previous years, how we've all suffered when we really didn't have to. And that's yeah.
I think about my mom a lot, because she passed and spent almost all of her life with cancer. And I keep hearing her just saying it's okay. That was my life. And it puts me at peace to a
Mhm.
degree, but I can't help but think that too. And I think a lot of people will feel that way because so much
Yeah.
of it has been very, very, very skewed
Mhm.
for a very, very, very long time. So how were any of us supposed to know, really?
Exactly.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's amazing. I was looking into getting a part-time job at a world famous hospital in New York. They have another facility nearby here. And yet when you go into the application process, to this day, they're still requiring fully vaccinated. And this is a cancer treating hospital. And I think everybody probably knows, if you're from New York, you probably know who I'm talking about. But it just really disgusted me that these people should know better. If they're the experts in New York, they should know better.
It's
So,
massive. And, they are saying that by next year, we will be seeing the likes of Nuremberg repeated
yeah.
for what's gone
And
on, and that this will be coming. So
yeah,
just people make sure you're doing the right thing because this is very, very, very serious what we're living. What do we have in our bag of tricks?
hey, on on another note,
On that light note,
I know, right? What do you think
what do you
it
think, Axel?
is? Okay, this one. Let's see. What is it? Oh, ho, ho, ho. What's that? Dreaming.
Ooh, I love this. This is definitely one I think we're going to have to revisit, because I think we're learning so much about what that is. And one of the things I've learned over the years with people I've worked with is that dreaming is literally one of the largest, most powerful functions of a human being, not the dreams that we do when we go to sleep at night, but the literal dream of being alive, the manifestation of the imagination. This is magnificent when you think about it like that. It's like, wow, what does that mean? It's way more than visualizing. It's literally not a technique. It's our way of being, as far as I can understand. And I'm still trying to grasp it. And that some of the functionality of dreaming at night is really just processing through certain things and movies that have sort of been installed through programming, not as natural as we think that is. The dreaming is the act of the human being in creation, as far as I can understand. It's pretty big.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I'm learning something right here. I didn't know that.
I'm kind of putting the pieces together from things I've
Mhm.
learned over the year, um, working with this incredible woman, Jacqueline Hobbs. If anyone's interested to check out oraclegirl.org, she is awesome. And that's one of the things I'm interested to hear more about dreaming and what that really means, because we're just so much more than some of the programming we've been in. And we're breaking out of that, which is part of the whole process of what we're going through right now. So the more we get to know ourselves, the more magnificent it will be.
I know that I've had a few uh, interesting dreams. I had reoccurring dreams when I was younger. So I don't know. Someone had told me, one of the two was probably premonition, but my apartment in the Bronx, we had an entire view of the Manhattan skyline from our window. We were in an apartment complex on the far end of the Bronx, and we were like on a ninth floor, so you can see straight toward Manhattan. And
That must have been
in
a cool view.
oh yeah, and I used to see the colors of the Empire State Building when they would change the colors throughout the year, and
Oh, I always thought that would be so cool to live in a building like that, because
yeah, it
you're
was
just like
really
kind of
cool.
up in the sky. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So the recurring dream was I was looking out the window and I saw five tornadoes,
Mm.
the whole span of Manhattan coming towards the Bronx. And then look now, we're having tornadoes in New York. Never had them before, unless they changed the category. Because I know we've had a lot of F1s. Um, but I remember I was trying to get to a CEU class, and I left work and I'm stuck on the West Side Highway, and that's when that tornado was supposedly coming through. And I'm seeing the sky getting darker and darker, sitting there.
Ah!
I'm like, I wouldn't mind if I was able to move, but I was stuck in traffic, and I'm like, I'm just gonna get lifted up.
That's
And
scary. Wow.
it it was so crazy. And then I got to class late, and the instructor was like all upset, like kind of made a comment saying if anybody's gonna come like half hour late, don't bother showing up, kind of thing. And then I told him what had happened, and he's like, "Oh,
Can I show up late if I'm being swept away by a tornado.
Yeah, would have been easy to pick me up and put me down. But so and then I had another one where a close friend of mine, I used to hang out with his mother a lot. And this is when I was in California. He came back to visit the mother, and she was in the hospital. And everybody was waiting to hear back, how was she? Didn't hear anything. And it was weird, that night I had a dream, and she was all hooked up to stuff, but she was smiling. She goes, "I'm okay. Don't worry, I'm okay." The next day, I got the phone call that she had passed. So I think there's a lot of um, premonition type things that go on with the dreaming, as well as connecting with um, relatives. And
Yeah, I had a
so,
beautiful dream. A really, really, really good friend of mine passed away, and I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks after he passed away. I had this beautiful dream. We were in the Caribbean, but it was like we were just talking all night. It was amazing. And then he's like, I have to go. I have to be somewhere.
mhm,
And I was like, okay. And then
wow,
he put me on this boat, and it was so wild because the ocean was Caribbean blue like daytime, but the night it was the night sky, but the ocean was daytime. So it was like two worlds. It was really beautiful.
wow.
Yeah, it's so cool. Um,
Yeah, in terms of dreaming, it's like I just feel like it's opening the horizon to everything, all the possibilities.
mhm.
Um, and then now knowing that what you're saying with Oracle Girl, I have to check the website. Um,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
that's astounding. Yeah.
Really amazing stuff. And I think, it's funny, we opened up talking about the sky ice and all these interesting things that we're going to be learning about. And it is really the dream of humanity that's been really oppressed, I think, stifled, stuck, um, not able to be free, to dream, to literally dream,
Mhm.
what was that? It's like, everybody always says, live in the dream, live in the dream. I'm living the
Yeah.
dream. And it's like, that's just started coming into the consciousness of humanity, I think, that you are actually able to do that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when they say that, usually it's materialistic.
Or it's a joke, like you're literally
Yeah,
joking, like you're not living the dream, like you're on your way to work going, I'm living the dream.
right.
It's like,
I was
and
thinking like lifestyles of the rich and famous,
yeah,
It's
either one, like it's either, yeah,
yeah,
or
nothing.
you're, it's like life's great, I'm living the dream. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like, but this is how amazing we are. We make fun of things, we make light of things because we are light. And the truth of the matter is that I really do believe that is something that is kind of starting to come into our consciousness, where there is a possibility of living so many dreams, and the dream of being an actual living, breathing, Adamite human being who's just thriving.
Thriving, that's a great word.
What a concept, right?
Opposed to just existing.
Getting by, surviving.
Mhm. Struggling.
We're here to thrive, And then that, I just remember hearing about that years ago and thinking, well, that's next to impossible. Because it really was. I mean, you want to, and you think, oh, that would be
Yeah.
great. But there's a part of you that kept saying no. Programming.
Yeah. I know I've always had hope. Didn't understand why, but I was always like, I'm not giving into this. There's got to be more. I know there's more,
Totally.
but not really understanding it, but just knowing like something. There was something more that we were missing. And now we know.
Absolutely. We know so much more than we did, and there's still so much we don't know. It's so exciting. I
And
don't
there's
think
time to learn it and relearn everything. We don't have to do it all at once. And it sounds like it's going to be overwhelming, but it just, pace ourselves one topic at a time.
I think we'll take it that way. I think we've had to do that for the past 3 years, and everything we've gone through. It's been a real pace yourself. There's definitely times where I just have to turn everything off and just say, I need a rest. This
Well,
is
I
a
was
lot.
hoping that this would have been the year because like 3 years ago when I first started doing this, we're talking like the end of February, beginning of March, probably when I really started diving into it. And it was like 4 or 5 hours a night while I was working. So it was like I wasn't sleeping, which is fine. I don't normally sleep, but when it's like 7 days a week, and then when you add up the hours, it's over 3,000 hours by now.
It's a full-time
But
job. Yeah.
yeah, and then now, I've gotten a little smarter by listening to stuff on the way into work, and then actually kind of like tuning out a lot of stuff too. Just keeping it simple. But it's just like, yeah, I lost my train of thought now. So I thought like, last year I was like, okay, now, everything's gonna be revealed, and we're it's gonna happen, and we're gonna get EBS, and then it goes on another year, and I'm like I can't keep
Can't take anymore.
up like 22 hours a day, because I was hoping there would have been a little bit of an end to it at this point.
I think I
Um,
was hoping there'd be an end to it at the end of 2020, beginning of 2021. And so
April
it's like
I
a
was talking about
really
EB
long wait there, for that.
April 2020 I was talking about EBS. So that was like 3 months, 2 months after the pandemic started. So what are we
Wow.
now? Almost 2023. So
Yeah. I mean, it's just so much to reveal to so many people. Um,
and then being torn because and since I'm in the medical field, a lot of it was about everything that was going on. So between the political, between the Dr. David Martin with all the law stuff and Ryan Fulmer, you know, getting that aspect of, you know,
I don't know who
like
they were. Were they talking about the straw man type
no,
common
Dr.
law
David
stuff?
no, Dr. David Martin was talking about all the patents
Oh, yeah.
that go way back to the beginning or before this was ever, I mean, talking about the Dr. F
The
and
F
his,
word
yeah, and
patents that have gone on. Yeah, that's
yeah, and the patent for the test in 2015. So how did they know we were going to need this test
yeah.
back in 2015? So he does all of the connecting the dots
Mhm.
and the violations, the ethics, all of that. And Ryan McFulmer was gathering all of different experts to testify everything that went wrong with the whole pandemic. And so you've got psychologists, you've got, medical, um, you've got the the one expert talking about the whole thing about the mass psychosis thing and how that's been used many times before. Um, so between all that, I'm like, I feel like I should have an honorary medical degree, an honorary law degree, you know, honorary political science degree, and maybe a psychology degree too, with the number of things that you've been listed. Because a lot of these things are like 2-3 hours long. The one grand jury.net, which was the original thing that Ryan McFulmer was involved in, they broke down in 6 or 7 sessions, and they're like 3-4 hours long, with various experts talking about various aspects of the pandemic. And they presented it like a grand jury so that lawyers could use it. Oh, and that's the other guy. What was his name? That other lawyer that's on the Reawakening tour. Can't think of his name right now. So yeah, they're putting it all together for the Nuremberg trials going forward next year. So, but there's a lot.
It's a lot, and you need a rest,
Yeah,
and then you dream,
yeah, definitely.
and we're all dreaming of a better future than what we've been living,
And it's coming.
and that's
That
exciting for sure.
yeah.
And hopefully there'll be a few more bunnies in the future. Axel, are you going to get on that?
Yeah,
You to get on that and make that
he's
happen?
he's loafing a little bit today. Oh,
You having a low-fee evening?
yeah.
Oh, well,
He's loafing and dreaming.
he's
Yeah,
loafing and dreaming. And we'll have more to talk about dreaming. I definitely want to bring this back up again because
there's a lot.
it's a lot, and I want to get into that a little more as I learn more. Um, because I think Jacqueline is actually doing an event on dreaming coming up pretty soon. And I'm curious because it connects into very much who we are, connects into many aspects of the human being in our life. So I'm looking forward to learning more about that. I'll let you know what I learned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because apparently I have a lot to learn about it.
we all do. It's exciting. I mean, this is the thing. I think we're going to just be amazed. And we are like sponges. Like you said, you should have a degree in all these things at this point. It's great. It's about time, and you were obviously able to absorb quite a bit. We all have been over the past years because we are like sponges and we just absorb information. And given the right information and
Mhm.
more loving and correct information rather than being manipulated is quite an incredible time in history. So keep dreaming, everybody.
Yes.
We'll see you next time. And good night to you and Axel. Much love.
Well, good to see you, Marius.
Bye,
Marius, you.
everybody.
Bye.